Yeah, let's
stay
try
at
algebra
this
1.
all year. We just stay at algebra 1.
No, this is pre-calculus here. We will do algebra 1 review, we'll do a little bit of geometry review, we'll do a lot of algebra 2 review, and we'll throw a little bit of new stuff in there. But it's just amazing how much when you take all these different things that you've learned and try to review it all in 1 year, it's a lot. We're going to go fast. You'll see this says 1.2. That does correlate to the book, which I haven't handed you. But if you go on your files in Canvas, the book is there. So if you did want to go in the book and read more about this topic, it is available to you. But also, besides the book, you have this really great invention called the internet. You like open up a search engine page like Google? Okay. And you type in slope-intercept equation of a line, and I bet you videos come up too. Yeah, it works. I'm telling you, try it. It's cool. All right, so the slope-intercept form of the equation of a line is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, and the y-intercept we're going to write as 0, comma b. Make sure you write it as an ordered pair. And then down here there's a little blurb at the bottom that you're probably going to skip, so I'm going to help you notice it. It says that a vertical line has an equation in the form of x equals a. X equals some number. That equation cannot be written in the form of y equals mx plus b because the slope of the vertical line is undefined. If we have a vertical line, slope is undefined. Got it? Let's graph some. This part in blue is not on your notes worksheet, but we are going to do it in homework, so we'll practice in our notes. We're going to find the y-intercept, we're going to write down the slope, and we're going to graph it. So y equals mx plus b, what is our y-intercept here? So we're going to write it as 0, 1. And then our slope is 1/2. Like, I know all these answers, I just paused, so you guys have the opportunity to participate. You learn better when you yell things out. I'm telling you first. Okay, so we're going to begin. We're going to begin at the b value. Begin at b, 0, 1, and then we're going to move with the m value. We're going to move up 1/2. And then you're going to use your straight edge, make a line, and put arrows. Why do I need arrows? Because the line and lines do what? They go on forever. So you have to show that they go on forever. Put your arrows in. Okay, the next one is y equals 2. So that is in the form of y equals mx plus b, but the mx is missing. So y-intercept for this one is 0, 2. That's our beginning point. And since the mx is missing, our slope is 0. That is the same thing as 0/1. That means we rise nothing, and then we run 1. So what kind of line does that make? Horizontal. Right. Horizontal line. Next one, we've got x plus y equals 3. That is not in the form of y equals mx plus b. So how do we take the x and move it over? Subtract it. Excellent. We've got y equals, I'm going to write it first, negative x plus 3. You don't have to write it first. And then our y-intercept. 0, 3. And our slope. -1. And you can write it over 1 if you want, but when I write official answers, I have them in simplified form. And until I start learning all your names or learn all your names, I can't really call on you individually. So please participate. So I'm going to begin at 0, 3. And then from there, we're going to go down one, right one, down one, right one. If it is a negative slope, the line should be going downhill. As you read left to right, downhill. Okay, the last one is x equals -4. But it's not in the form of y equals mx plus b. Can I make it in the form of y equals mx plus b? I can't, because what kind of line is it? Vertical line, and what is my slope of that vertical line? Undefined. That's not. Now, on something like a homework or an assessment where I ask for the y-intercept, and if you leave it blank, I think you skipped it. So what should we put there? So I know that you know the answer. What should we put there? What is the y-intercept? There isn't one. Yeah, none. Just put none. That way I know you know, and I don't think you skipped it. None. And so there isn't a y-intercept, and this is a vertical line. There isn't a y-intercept. What can I use to graph that? Well, yes, I do need a straight edge. I mean, I need a point. I know it's a vertical line, but like I need a point. What do you think? Where? There's two negative points on the x. Yeah, so we will use the x-intercept. Instead of the y-intercept, we'll use the x-intercept. Since it's x equals, we'll use the x-intercept of -4, 0 to graph it. That's messy, sorry. So -4, 0 on the x, and then we will use our ruler to make that line. Yeah. Hey, that wasn't a wrong answer. I need a ruler. Okay, next section. All right, so now we're going to talk about how you find slope, and there's one way that you could find slope. You could graph every single one of these and count rise over run, or you can use the formula. I'm going to use the formula method, but it's really up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to use the formula as given right here. M equals, we're going to do y2 minus y1, so 1 minus 0, over x2 minus x1, 3 minus -2. Remember, when you are subtracting a negative, they end up becoming positive. Just be careful about that. Take your time so you don't make a silly mistake. Should get the slope of 1/5. Question B, same stuff. We're going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I have 0 over 3. What's 0 over 3?
0.
It is 0. I have people think maybe it's undefined, so I have a way to remember it. If you put 0 over a number, that's fine, that is 0. But if you put a number over 0, no. See it? Number over 0 says no. That's the undefined one. You are not allowed to divide by 0. So number over 0 is undefined. If you have the 0 on top, it's okay. That's all. Okay. Question C, same stuff, same formula. -1 minus 4 over 1 minus 0. We get -5 over 1. I do want you to reduce this and write it in simplest form. So -5 over 1 is -5. And then the last one, 1 minus 4 over 3 minus 3. We get -3 over 0. So undefined. No. Undefined. When you do your assignment, I'm going to say this again, Lisa, too. When you do your assignment, I go through them and I look at them and I check for understanding. It's really hard for me to check for understanding if all you have is an answer. So when there's work to be shown, you should be putting the work down, whether it be a graph that you graphed and then counted, rise or run, or if you did the formula. I'm really happy for you. If you can do it in your head, that's great. But like, I can't read what's in your head, so like, put it on paper. Okay? And then when we grade stuff, usually there's like points for showing work. There wasn't for the graphing or the factoring one, but usually there is. All right, the next form is called point slope form, and it is called point slope form because in the formula itself, there is a point, x1, y1, and there is the slope, m. That's why it's called point slope formula. So write the equation of a line that has a slope of 3 and passes through the point 1, negative 2. So the slope of 3, that's our m, and the point 1, negative 2 is our x1, y1. So what do I put in the spot of the y? I just leave it as y because I'm not plugging in anything there. I'm only plugging in m and I'm plugging in x1, y1. So I do not put anything in for x or y. Those stay. Those make the equation. So we will have y minus negative 2 equals 3 parentheses x minus 1. And then y minus negative 2 becomes plus. That would be point slope form. It does not say it on this, on the notes, but in the homework it says, now write it in slope intercept form. So we're going to take that and write it in the other slope intercept form. How do we do that? Draw the rainbows. Distribute, yep. So we'll have y plus 2 equals 3x minus 3, and then from there subtract your 2. Where that came from. So I get y equals 3x minus 5. Why is that not erasing? My computer, it acts up sometimes. All right, next question. Same kind of thing, only this time we're going to find the equation that passes through two ordered pairs, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3, 5. So to pass through two ordered pairs, we're going to put it in point slope form. What are you missing? Missing the slope. Let's find the slope first. So 5 minus negative 2 over negative 3 minus negative 1. 7 over negative 2. So my slope is negative 7 halves. And then we're going to do point slope form. Which point should I use? Which point should I use? Doesn't matter. So you pick your favorite. I'm going to pick the first one. But you can pick whatever one you want. So y minus negative 2 equals negative 7 halves times x minus negative 1. And then I'm going to distribute. And when I multiply negative 7 halves times 1, I get negative 7 halves. Then I have to subtract 2 from both sides. But how do you subtract a fraction with something else? What do you have to have? Common denominators, right. So instead of subtracting 2, let me make it into a common denominator of something halves. What is it? What halves makes 2? 4 halves. And we get y equals negative 7 halves x minus 11 halves. you shouldn't need a calculator for that. So let's really try to work on not using the calculator at the beginning of the year. There will be a point in the year where you won't be using the calculator at all, and you need to know how to do that. Okay? So get help now. Practice it now. Don't just type that in your calculator. Okay, the next section is the standard form of a line. Standard form is AX plus BY equals C. AX plus BY equals C. See that on your paper? It's kind of covered up by my name a little bit. Where A is a positive number. So these are rules. These are rules for standard form. If A is not a positive number, it's not technically in standard form. So to be in standard form, A has to be a positive number, and then A, B, and C are integers, no fractions, no decimals. They're integers. And again, if there's a fraction in it, then it's not in standard form. And then a side piece of information that might be helpful soon, like on the next page. The slope of this equation, when it is in standard form, you just do negative A over B, and then you can find the slope really fast. Otherwise, you have to take the equation and move it into y equals mx plus b, and that takes a lot more work. So you just do negative A over B, you have the slope. I'm gonna close this side for now, if that's okay. So we're gonna rewrite our equation from example 3 and put it into standard form. So that was y equals, what was it? 3x minus 5? We're going to rewrite that into standard form. So to put it in standard form, we need to have the x's first. How do I take 3x on the right and move it to the left? Subtract it. Good. And then we say, all right, did I do it? Is this in standard form? Or is there a rule I'm breaking? Yeah, what am I breaking? Right, and I can't have a being negative. I need to make it positive. So how do I change negative 3 and make it positive, for example? Okay. Divide by negative 1 is one way. Or you can divide by negative 1. Or you can multiply by negative 1 also. Same thing. I don't know, I just like multiplication better. Just be careful because you're not just changing the negative 3 when you multiply by negative 1 or divide by negative 1, you're changing all of the signs. So just make sure you change everything. And now we have standard form. Okay, so example 4a, we're going to take your answer from 4 and move that into standard form. So what was that? That was... Thank you, appreciate it. I didn't have to look on my paper. Is that in standard form? No. What should we do first? What do you think? Is that what you're going to say? Yeah. Add the 7/2 x? Okay, so I added my 7/2 x, now I have the x's, then the y's, then the constant on the other side. Is that standard form? What am I missing? Oh yeah, can't have fractions in it. So, since fractions are like dividing, you can think, well, this is dividing by 2. How do I cancel out division? Multiply by what? 2. Both sides, everything. So that will give me 7x, because that's going to cancel out the 2. Plus, I have to multiply this one, 2y, equals, over here, cancel out the 2, negative 11. And then we have it in standard form. All right, when you're ready to go on, flip the page over, and we get that last example. So the last one talks about parallel and perpendicular lines. If two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. And if they're perpendicular, they have slopes that are opposite reciprocal or negative reciprocals. So we're going to write, for this one, we're going to write the slope-intercept forms of the equation of the lines that pass through the point 2, -1 and are parallel. And then we're going to do also perpendicular to the line 2x minus 3y equals 5. So the very first thing that we need to do is we need to have the slope, because we already have a point. We just need the slope. And we know this is going to be parallel, so it's going to have what kind of slope compared to this line? Same slope. So we need to find this slope. And you look at this line and you say, what form is that one in? Standard. So I don't want to change the forms. I want to know how to find it in standard form, which I wrote on the other page. Did you get that formula? What's the formula? Negative a over b. So from that equation, we do negative, and then a is 2, and then b is -3. So my slope is 2/3. That's the first step. Then from there, we're going to do point slope form, like we did on the other ones. Point slope form. So we're going to do y minus, my y is -1, equals my slope 2/3, times x minus 2. Oops. And then we're going to take it and we're going to put it into slope-intercept form, so distribute. Remember, when you multiply fractions, I'm going to do over here, 2/3 multiplied by 2, you have to multiply straight across, so you have to make that 2 over 1, and then you go straight across to multiply 4/3. We have to subtract 1, which is the same thing as subtracting 3/3. So we get y equals 2/3 x minus 7/3. Okay, when we do perpendicular, it's like all the same steps, with the exception of step number 1, you can't use the same slope. You have to use what slope? It has to be the opposite, it has to be the negative, and it has to be the reciprocal. So if that one's 2/3, I'm going to be doing -3/2. So I have to switch the sign and flip it. And then from there, all the steps are going to look the same. We're going to have y plus 1 equals new slope, -3/2 x minus 2. So use same ordered pair, just new slope. And you're going to distribute it. And then when I multiply -3/2 times -2 over 1, we get 6/2, which is 3. I know I'm going fast, but the video will be posted online. We got y equals -3/2 x plus 2. So I'm going to pass out the worksheet. The worksheet is your assignment. It is from section 1-2 in the book, if, like, you wanted to go look. Otherwise, I would just encourage you to come ask me questions or look up how-to stuff on the internet. It's all there. And it's still recording, so don't do anything crazy. I'm going to keep doing that too. I probably did that. I feel like you sat in that same seat 2 years ago too.